Hello, y'all. I'm back. It's 3:48 p.m. and I was let's see. After the video last night, my anxiety was extremely high in the middle of the night, and I was so upset about what happened last night. So it was a little bit after 2:45 this morning that I went to take a shower. And they squeezed my organs, so I couldn't I had a difficult time taking a shower. Super early this morning. Excuse me. I had a difficult time trying to take a shower. And they squeezed my organs, and so it really feels like when they hit you with direct energy weapons and squeeze your organs, it really feels like as if like they vibrate my organs, vibrate my body. And when they vibrate my body or whatever, and they squeeze my organs, it really feels like as if my organs are swollen and about to burst. So this morning and the last time I took a shower, they squeezed my organs, but 2 or 3 times before that, they didn't squeeze my organs. And when I trimmed my toenails this past time, they didn't squeeze my organs. So you can ask any person fat as me or fatter than me. It's not about my weight. Because I said that if my organs are squeezing because I'm fat and need to lose weight, if that was the case, then the torture is so unbearable that if this was due to people being fat, then I think they would have less fat people running around here. So I didn't have this problem all my life. And I have been way skinnier than this and had problems with them squeezing my organs. Maybe I should, try to make myself, if there's any way possible. It's easier now that I'm not homeless and me being off the streets. Thank God I finally got food stamps or whatever. And, but I just wish it could be easier for me to get to the grocery store. But one hindrance it's like this miniature refrigerator is very limited on, with the mini refrigerator, it's very limited on the items I can put in there. But other than that, I don't know if that thing is a spider or what, but so anyway, it's very limited on what I can. I'm sorry, my anxiety is really high, so that's why I'm seeming repetitive and stuttering and everything. My Tourette's getting worse. They are my phone has been acting up today. They are they are freezing my phone camera. They're freezing my phone camera. So um so they're freezing my phone camera, and my anxiety is really high and my Tourette's is getting worse. So excuse me for any stuttering or repetition of phrases and words and stuff. So I might as well try to. I don't know how much weight I can freaking lose, but what if I would have tried to lose all this weight and show y'all and let y'all know that it ain't about the weight, because they have skinny targeted individuals who who have told me that they have experienced the same thing about people. I mean, the perps, hitting them with directed energy weapons and vibrating their organs, or vibrating their feet, legs, vibrating their head, vibrating their brain. Sometimes they will focus on my left foot. That's when the vibrating started. I think it was around September 2015 when it started. And they started with vibrating my left foot when I was living in Los Angeles. And I was wondering, was it some medication that was given to me? Or I don't know what it could have been. I don't even know if I'm microchipped. And so it first started off the left foot, then the right foot, then the organs, then the whole body. And they've been vibrating my body a lot living here, even last night and, the past few days and everything. And I'm glad I finally have an answer and of what's been going on with me, because I've been trying to figure out, and people just thought I was crazy. So back in 2015, 16, 17, every time I would try to look for what are the symptoms of, like, your whole body vibrating or organs vibrating, why is my body vibrating, and gang stalking, cults, and narcissistic abuse kept coming up, and it just wasn't clicking in my brain for all this to be connected. And then later on I realized, because people did some demonstrations on gang stalking videos, and I still didn't understand it, like gang stalking and cults and everything, and targeted individuals. But as I said, it could have been 2011, but the earliest I remember hearing about targeted individuals and gang stalking was 2012. But it could have been 2011 when I first heard about gang stalking, and didn't realize I was one of them. Because they used to have this website called areyoutargeted.com. And the areyoutargeted.com, I think they changed it to, excuse me for not knowing how to pronounce this name, Zersetzung. The German Stasi thing, So they said that the areyoutargeted.com that turned into Zersetzung, that's a fake TI perp disinformation website to discredit real TIs, and which I believe it is too. So I was looking at that website, and they made that website, the Are You Targeted, they made that defunct. But I think you can probably go back on a Wayback Machine and look up that website and see some information. But I was looking at that website, and I'm like, well, I hope this don't end up happening to me one day. I hope it wouldn't happen to me. And I didn't even realize I've been targeted, that it was already happening to me. And on Twitter, they used to, talk about targeted individuals and gang stalking and the terrorist watch list and stuff like that. So I heard some stuff about it, but I didn't realize I was already targeted. And certain people said that they've been targeted since birth. But they got a lot of the popular fakes who be lying and saying that they've been targeted since birth. Nah, motherfucker, you've been a perp since birth. Shut up. Or your fake occult new age selling out and fake rebirth. That one. So they got narcissistic control freak fake TI perps that lie. And they get fake praise by lying and saying that, oh, once I became a Christian, all my gang stalking attacks, all my gang stalking attacks has stopped. Stop lying. Because you part of the fake satanic health and wealth prosperity gospel, and you're following a false Jesus, because the real Jesus, it seemed like, and that's what they will have religious narcissists, like the one in the middle of the night last night. Make sure you read your, shut up, and you don't even care about me. You don't want to see me. You don't want to see me in heaven. You just want to control people, or you just want to look self-righteous. You don't even feel like you love me and care about me and want me to go to heaven when I die, or see Jesus when I die. All y'all want me to go to hell. So yeah, that's also disinformation when you want to say gang stalking is a blessing, and then you say that, oh, all my gang stalking attacks stopped once I started serving Jesus. No. Nowhere in the Bible does it say that your suffering gets better, or you should stop having to suffer once you start being obedient to Jesus Christ. When you start being more obedient to Jesus Christ, your attacks get worse. Your attacks get worse. And even from people who say that they are Christian, they even attack you. Even in church, being targeted, a targeted individual can't even go to church. A targeted individual cannot go to church, because how y'all supposed to go there to serve the Lord, and everybody, including the pastors, deacons, reverends, ushers, or whatever other, choir director, everybody is, has an agenda against you. It would be something if they had people who say that they're targeted and still Christian, if they haven't been manipulated to turn away from the Christian faith, and they come together and do like a YouTube live stream, group live stream or something, and if they all huddle together and talk about the gang stalking experiences that happen in church. But they got some people who say that they're targeted and chosen. That if you say you're God's chosen and elect, but you don't even read the Bible, you don't pray, and you just conform to the world, and you glorify New Age and practice witchcraft, and you gang stalk. You lie and say you're a targeted individual, but you gang stalk and put spells and witchcraft on targets, while hijacking all the credit for yourself. So but yeah, you're telling bogus lies. It doesn't work like that. For you to say that you tell lies saying that, oh, well, once my gang stalking ended once I encountered Jesus Christ. Well, why do you go around you stop talking about your targeting, and then some people believe that, well, if you just stop talking about the gang stalkers, or if you ignore them, then they will back off and leave you alone. But that's not true, because I've tried moments to ignore them, and it seems like if I ignore or don't say anything, then their attacks get worse. It seemed like as if they want to try to harass and provoke me. If I'm trying to ignore them, they harass and provoke me until they can get me to It's like they try different tactics to get underneath my skin. If that one doesn't work, but the ones who say that the gang stalking tactics don't work, those are the ones who say that they're. I mean, if they say that they're not bothered by the gang stalking tactics, then they, it seems like as if they're being fried alive. Like with the directed energy weapons, if their face is melting off from the directed energy weapons, and they end up being like looking unrecognizably not human. That their bodies being that destroyed from the directed energy weapons. But I don't know how to reverse being hypersensitive with everything. All my 5 senses are hypersensitive. Touch, taste, smell, vision, and and hearing. Yeah, the hearing is the main one. Well, I'm not going to say that my smell is extremely sensitive, but some people say that my sensitivity might be due to autism or Asperger's syndrome from foster care experimentation. And then, they've been having a harsh abuse of narcs throughout my life. And me constantly, feeling the need to have reassurance because of the OCD. But I'm still learning and still, it's not that easy to just snap and change overnight. But I'm slowly trying to rise above, the idea of, like, I used to back then try to seek approval from people or, seek approval or people pleasing. And I guess I don't do it as much anymore, but it's like, if somebody's and I didn't know the agendas. I thought people were just people. I didn't even believe in God. I wasn't a Christian. I was either in that cult or felt like I was atheist when I got mad about the cult. So I didn't know God's word. Despite being in that fake cult, the cult leaders' fake teachings were considered as more valuable than the Bible, but the Bible wasn't their final authority. But they would use the Bible and manipulate and twist the scriptures to falsely validate the cult leaders' false teachings. And this fake science. So, but they manipulated us to if they try to say Yahweh's name is stamped in our face, and a lot of their fake teachings is based off, not all of them, but a large part is based on they have a twisted idea of the so-called tabernacle pattern, that they compared the most holy place, the holy place, a court roundabout in the book of Exodus. And that's why, like, I'm finished the book of Genesis with listening to the Bible on my MP3 player. And it seemed like as if I have a hard time with the book of Exodus listening or reading it because of the fake cult. But it's God's word, the Bible, Exodus, is part of God's word, so I gotta read it or listen to it. Trying to read and listen to the Bible, the whole Bible. And so the fake IDMR cult compared, back in the Jewish days, or in the book of Exodus, they compare the most holy place, the holy place in the court roundabout. They compared it, and then they started talking about head cavity, chest cavity, and abdominal cavity. And they love to talk about this fake ass 3 yet 1. And they try to make it like everything in the universe is 3 yet 1. And they be like, well, you can live without your limbs, so therefore the human body is 3 yet 1. Or they'll be like, oh, well, if there's an apple, everything is 3 yet 1. You get 3 parts, 3 main parts, but then you got 1 apple. So you have the skin, the core, and you have the seed. But then what about the stem? What about the leaves from the apple tree, though? I mean, what about what about the stem? Or they'll try to make it like, and they try to say, everything is 3 yet 1. And they try to make like as if they're like indisputable, like you can't prove them wrong. And they feel like, well, show me something that's different. Show us something that's different. Show us something that's not 3 yet 1. And we will close this school down and follow you. Because they, like the fake IDMR cult, they will say that fake moderation, they will say that we are a school and not a church. Or they'll say this is a school and not a church. And neither are we affiliated with any, well, you call you like this so-called Bible school that they want to emphasize is like we are a school and not a church, and neither are we affiliated with any religious or whatever. They even in their aims, the aims of the cult, their fake aims in the cult, they even say that they encourage and promote occult science. I didn't know what occultism was back then. The fake IDMR cult is Freemasonry, New Age, witchcraft, metaphysical, whatever. They're sitting there teaching us. They're trying to mix Freemasonry, Bible, like the mystery. The Freemasonic mystery teachings and stuff like that. They try to mix it with Bible. And it's New Age and ecumenical. And so the fake IDMR cult is part of the ecumenical movement and part of the New World Order. And like the fake Jehovah's Witnesses cult called for a New World Order. So the fake cult Bible class, they talk about fraudster Henry Clifford Kinley, fake divine vision and revelation in this fake tabernacle pattern. And, the foster, like when we were in foster care, the fake IDMR cult, they try to say that the name Yahweh is stamped in your face. Yahweh and Yahshua, talking about that when you have, like, your eyes is Y, and then A, and then your mouth is H. And then they try to say, if you use God, if God, the name God was written on your face, then you will look very messed up, and God is dog backwards. So one time when I was a teenager and brainwashed to believe the cult, the foster mom, we were tortured in Alabama with the foster mom's sister Mickey. And me and my twin sister, when we were getting along at the time, talking about that, when we were getting along at the time, And we both were discussing, I think she was the one who brought it up, talking about God is dog, like dog is God backwards or something. And so then Mickey got mad and went off on us and talked about with those old weird posters and shit. Well, Mickey, you wouldn't tell your sister that to her face, huh? The fake foster mom, Adrian Felder. Yeah, Mickey, you wouldn't tell your sister that to her face, huh? You're just yelling at us. But you ain't no better because you have been part of the fake Seventh-day Adventist cult, who falsely believe that going to church on Sundays is the mark of the beast. That Sunday church service is the mark of the beast. Like, what the hell? Where in the Bible does it say that? But it's, the teachings is, by a woman, that Ellen G. White. And they force vegetarianism and veganism in their cult. They pretend to fake like they know about the Illuminati and the New World Order. So they act like they're speaking against the Illuminati and the New World Order, but then afterwards they but then that's how you catch them when they lie and say going to church on Sundays is the mark of the beast. I marked you as a part of the fake Seventh-day Adventist cult. You're canceled in my book. You ain't speaking no damn truth. So, I heard about my Illuminati research and stuff, that they have the mark of the beast and transhumanism. The mark of the beast and transhumanism and the microchip and all that. So they want to merge humans with computers. With this, and they had the fake artificial intelligence and all that. But the fake IDMR cult, they're a fake doomsday cult, but I never even heard the mark of the beast. First time I heard the mark of the beast was my Illuminati research, I think in 2011. Before that, I never in my life heard of the mark of the beast. Or was it 2010? 2010 or 2011 I heard about, no, 2010. I heard of the mark of the beast. So, I wish that my twin sister was supportive and nice to me and had an open mind. But it seemed like if somebody got a narc personality or if they're a gang stalker, you can never get that family member back. You can never get that family member back. But it's sad and a shame that you would rather be loyal to a gang stalking cult network rather than your own family. And I'll be forgetting about that sometimes. That, if you don't believe what the cult says, then they act hostile towards, if you left a cult. But hey, I was loyal to the cult, the fake IDMR cult, thinking I'm getting closer to Yahweh. I didn't know. And being loyal and faithful to taking psychiatric medications and still being abused, oppressed, and treated mean. I'm thankful and glad every day that I've broken away from the cult and the mental health system. So after I took my shower in the middle of the night, I was working more on the ebook. And then my anxiety was really high. And it was about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. David Jane came on YouTube and made more harassing comments, but I was able to stop him in his tracks. And it's like, just that quick, he had already made 3 comments. And he joined like 2 or 3 minutes ago. And so I was able to stop him. Just like yesterday morning, I had to stop. Like I was already on TikTok, and I had to the fake Darnell Williams perp. I was already on TikTok, so I was able to stop him right in his tracks, so that he couldn't make 60 something fucking harassing comments. It's senseless, but y'all call me crazy. Well, yeah, in the middle of the night, I was working more. Like I don't remember what time I stopped, but after I got out of the shower, I started working on an ebook until my battery started to get like, no, my battery didn't get low, but I was extremely tired. And then I fell asleep, or I went to bed at like 6 o'clock this morning, and I heard them doing that work outside. It looked like when it's getting too hot. So I guess they only work a certain amount of hours in the morning, and it get too hot, so then they leave. So I fell asleep at 6 o'clock this morning, and I woke up probably about 1 o'clock, and I was afraid that it was so late that I was afraid of it being 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, but it was only 1 something. So in the middle of the night, I kind of felt a little bit, no, not in the middle of the night, early this morning, I felt a little bit nauseous and stuff like that, and a little bit vertigo. But after I slept, then I felt much better. But I felt, after I slept, I felt better. But then I woke up, I was still tired, but I felt back to normal after I ate something. So I mean, I stayed away from genetically engineered food for a long time, but you know, they had cereal on sale. Like I got a big discount on the cereal, and so I got 2 boxes of cereal, the chocolate French toast crunch. No, I'm sorry, not French toast. Chocolate cinnamon toast crunch. They call it chocolate toast crunch. That and Cheerios. So, you know, even when I was living in Los Angeles, I wasn't really eating mainstream cereal. But I would be, you know, if I ate any cereal, it would be organic, natural, healthy granola cereal. But then after becoming homeless, you know, you don't really get to control what you eat when you're homeless. And that's why, one of the reasons why I gained so much weight, because like right after I became homeless and I was working at the Grand Canyon and stuff, I was looking good. My hair was growing out and everything. I was looking really good. I was pretty much borderline slim. I mean, I wish if my stuff wouldn't have got stolen, I could have shown y'all pictures, and I even had videos of that Grand Canyon. And I didn't realize when I had that Grand Canyon job, it was nothing but perks. But they had a man that was a white man, supposedly from New Orleans, and he was a Freemason, and he had a car. And he even gave me rides or whatever. I didn't feel comfortable with that, but maybe he was a fake nice perk. But him and his wife seemed like they had an attitude or a personality, like as if they didn't have an agenda. But they but he acted, him and his wife, they acted like so-called nice, but it's like I didn't feel comfortable with that Freemason. And then I didn't know perping with the red car. I mean, I wish I would have been aware or known, you know, because I was in my 30s and I had a 19, like I was 35 years old with a 19-year-old Native American coworker that would try to be bossy and disrespectful. And I didn't realize that was part of the workplace mobbing, that as soon as I got there, it was so much hate, and everybody treated me mean and everybody hated me. And they had he wasn't elderly, but almost elderly, or maybe he would look like he was in his 60s, named Albert. He was Navajo Indian. I thought they were Hispanic. So at the Grand Canyon in Arizona, it's weird that the Native Americans, they don't speak with an American accent. Like they have, but I guess their accent must be the true American accent, because the real Native Americans, they weren't speaking English. So they would speak another language, but they would have an accent that, sounds foreign. And I just thought, well, I got to get used to this. I'm being around so many Navajo Indians. You think they look Hispanic or Mexican, but if Native American people, my personal experiences with them is that they're abusive, narcissistic, hard, and mean. So hard and mean to make you want to cry. But I'm mixed with Native American, and a lot of Native American my damn self. If I'm supposed to be mixed with Native American on both sides, why am I not running around calling myself Native American or Indian? But nah, if I'm even mixed with white, like French. So, but if society see you as a black person, even if you're light skinned, pass the paper bag test, but people will, if they would make like they know that you're identified with being black, if you're one of those New Orleans Creoles like me, but I'm not light skinned, but my family members are, a lot of them, but they all hate me. But the biological dad Arthur looked like fucking they said he was mixed with Cherokee or something, but I don't know. But the biological mom, Frances, off her side, they said that her dad, Grandpa Wallace, was supposedly a black Indian or like a 100% full blood Indian. And the biological mom, Frances, said that her people is something about Native Americans from Texas with woolly hair. Man, I don't know what tribe that is, but the biological dad Arthur looks like a freaking Sioux Indian or something like that, like Lakota Sioux Indian or something, or he looked like he can be like Mexican, Italian, and Chinese all blended in together. I've seen a lot of Mexican men that look like, and even Asian people, they look like the biological dad Arthur. Or that people have told me that I look like I could be mixed with Samoan, Hawaiian, or Filipino. I'm like, nope, I'm just freaking Creole. And then they don't want you to be proud to be Creole. Narcissistic abusers who ain't related to me, they act like they think they got the authority to tell me what I am. And they get mad and scream at me saying, you are black! But then, okay, but y'all the number one people who cry about our Creole heritage and language being erased away. People wonder, well, how come nobody speaks Creole? Or people who are not from New Orleans, if they think if they ask me, because I don't know French, they think I'm bullshitting and lying about being Creole because I only know a few French words, and nobody really in New Orleans speaks French unless you're going to college and taking French classes. But they have people from France, Haiti, and other French-speaking countries, even African countries that speak French. Like somebody that's from, like one time I met this guy from Burkina Faso, and he told me that they speak French. Certain African countries speak French. But yeah, Candy Grand Prix, my last name is French, and it traces back to the Acadians that were exiled out of Nova Scotia, Canada during the 17th century, I think. So, but my family is Creole, but they all call themselves black, in which Creoles call themselves black and blacks call themselves Creole in New Orleans. You know, it's like the ones who really are Creole, you know, Passe Blanc, got the white features or mixed features. Because some of them be like orange with straight hair and green eyes. And they'll take, like, or if they're the complexion of white people with blue eyes and straight hair, they'll tell you in a minute how black they are. But people black as tar in New Orleans, they'll try to tell you how Creole they are. I'm like, yeah, right. You ain't no kind of Creole. You ain't got a shred of Native American or nothing mixed in you. Stop it. You look straight up African. But there was a point in time when the abusive fake foster mom, Adrian Felder, started that, you know, trying to convince everybody to believe that my hair was so nappy. And then they would have the ignorant project ghetto fake crusty kids at school used to try to tell me, your hair is nappy and you need a perm. Get a perm, get a perm, get a perm. It will look better. Why? You don't care about me. If I got a perm, and then look, my senior year in high school, I finally got a perm. And then I got bullied and abused even more. I went through my senior year in high school with long hair. But I hated that I got fatter and I didn't get to be 17 years old and skinny like I wanted because of those fake psych meds. I hated to be 17 years old. But I kind of found out I wasn't really that big. Not big like I am now and been almost all my adulthood. So, but so it's like, as I said, I was my sophomore year in high school, 15 years old in 10th grade and 130 pounds, or maybe 135 pounds, and being called fat and greedy. I was skinny in junior high and high school and being called fat and greedy. So I think the nappy hair harassment started when I was right after I became targeted. After I became targeted, you know, they been harassing me about my hair. And we were 12 years old in 7th grade. The foster mom forced us to start middle school with our hair like this. So, as I said, my hair being damaged while I was homeless is the reason why I had to get it cut all off again. And so it got messed up again, but it's still short and it's growing back. So, but I mean, yeah, I said I wanted to try to let my hair grow back long again, you know. But even, we were in 8th grade, and my twin sister must have thought she was fat too, because we would be in like 6th grade, and the foster mom would yell at us, like we would go in the neighborhood close by to this man named Mr. Benjamin. And like they had this seafood place in Gretna on Lafayette Street called Vince Seafood. That place doesn't exist anymore. So the black man, Mr. Ben, used to ask us nosy questions about the fake foster mom and the foster family, and then go back and tell the foster mom what we said. They had a lot of people in the neighborhood used to treat us like that. And so, so we used to go, because they had a scale where they would weigh the furniture. That they would weigh the seafood. They would weigh the seafood. And so, you know, we would ask them if we can weigh ourselves. and I would be like 11 years old and 5'2" and 140 pounds being on that fucking Prozac. And so if we come back and tell the foster mom, if she would get mad and go off on us and say that we're going to be big as a house. And I was 18 years old and 200 pounds, and the fake foster mom Ann tried to bully, harass, and lecture me, telling me I'm bedridden. Well, I don't know if I'm close to 300 pounds, but I can walk around pretty good. I'm far from bedridden. But yeah, that's how they try to manipulate, frighten, and scare you. You know, the foster mom used to yell at Joni being fat or overweight, but Joni was never, ever on psych meds. Joni never had to take psychiatric medication. But we did. So, so we did. And so, so the foster mom used, like, so, yeah, 140 pounds and the same height. That's skinny compared to what I am now. But I heard that my ideal height and weight, that I'm supposed to be like 105 or 110 pounds. And I'm way over that. But, you know, as I said, me, I started portioning my own foods, you know, and then limiting sweets and junk food and everything, and taking 3-hour walks and all that, and drinking a lot of water. All that really helped. But now I can't really go out for walks because of the gang stalking. I can't even go walk out in the neighborhood because I'm this neighborhood weird freak. And, you know, me staying in the house to keep down on gang stalking setups. And I only go out when necessary. But I thought, well, what if I find a way to just exercise while in here? But if I start exercise, I don't know. But the Bible's saying that bodily exercise, you know, spiritually doesn't really profit you. But some people think that just exercising make you lose weight. But you gotta change around, you know, diet and everything. But as I said, you know, narcissistic abusers trying to control me, or they'll try to tell me you gotta change the way you eat. Well, when I do try to change the way I eat and I start eating healthier fruits and vegetables, then I have to hear narcissistic lectures about, oh, you're wasting money, or you should have bought this, or you should have bought this, or you could have spent your money on that. So damned if I do, damned if I don't. As I said, you know, if I eat junk food, I deserve to be punished with all these health problems, and I deserve to die. And then they'll be like, and you did it to yourself. You're your own worst enemy. But they're sitting there abusing, like, when I had the situation that I had this past Friday, you know, I felt the need to have some comfort food. And all the attacks, abuse, and harassment, you know, comfort food. When you're feeling hated and you're feeling down and everything. So people on YouTube are starting to do like what would happen on Twitter. If I mention on Twitter, well, this person got hateful and unfollowed and blocked me. You know, I woke up this morning to 1,200. Like last week a few days ago, I got up to 1,273, then 1,274, then all the way up to 1,280. And I told y'all about the perp who kept on manipulating the the subscriber numbers to 1279, and then 5 minutes later 1280, and then back to 1279, then 1280, kept on unsubscribing and resubscribing every 5 minutes. And I'm like, who the fuck has time to do this? So then I woke up this morning down to 1,275. They figured, well, if they unsubscribe, I'm going to teach you a lesson about complaining. Or maybe if you lose enough subscribers, then we're going to teach you a lesson. But I don't know if the people who unsubscribe are new. If the people who unsubscribe, if they're new. The new people who subscribe, if they unsubscribe. Because they haven't been watching my videos or really know about this targeting. But, or it might be perps that unsubscribe on purpose just to get me to freak out and say something. But, I don't want perps following me. I don't want them to be subscribed to me. Because I already know you're trouble. And you're there to harass. You're not here to support. You're not here to encourage. And then they'll be glad when they get the control that they want out of me. Like one time when I went to the farmer's market and I did the video, at the farmer's market, and Star Bricker tried to pretend to act like she was very pleased at my behavior of me acting good or whatever. Like, come on, I'm a fucking grown-ass woman. But then they want to call me childish. But then they say I act like a 5th grader, but they're bullying and stalking and meddling like 5th graders. You're elderly and harassing people like a fucking child. And then hypocritically call me childish. You need to look at yourself, what you're doing. I don't even know y'all. So Star Bricker acting like as if she wanted to call me greedy for eating 3 miniature Magnum bars. Not regular, but miniature. And which is one serving. And then she turned around and making like, oh, well, I had to go back and look. I know she didn't have no Magnum bars inside her house. I don't know, but she probably thinks she's fake smart enough to look it up on the internet. But I'll be damned if this lady is that damn obsessed and jealous that she actually physically went to the fucking grocery store. Like, come on, y'all do too damn much. Counting my calories and everything. But, if my twin sister make a fake throwdown dinner, then she get applauded and praised. They try to make like I'm such a bad person that anything I try to accomplish or try to make progress, they try to halt or sabotage or destroy my progress that I'm trying to make. But when my twin sister is making progress with fitness, exercising, or whatever, she gets applause and praise. But the same people who've been stalking me for years and gossiping about me, they think they got the authority to be gossiping about everything I do. I can eat an orange and they'll complain about that too. Like, y'all didn't even give me any, and I'm not looking for any, and I'm not expecting any. I'm trying to improve my health for me, not y'all. But every now and then somebody might slip up, or we're not perfect. And sometimes you might have your cravings and binge. So, the Magnum bars that I freaking had and y'all flipping out over that. Go, if you're that jealous, go get yourself some Magnum bars. Fine. So, what you gonna do? Come all the way here to Texas and try to knock on my door and take all the food out? What you gonna do? But y'all just what people want to call keyboard warriors, keyboard bullies, keyboard trolls, just talking shit. But Star Bricker ain't gonna be the type that if she knew me in person, she would beat my ass. But she would be the type that would set you up. Or she's the type of person who'd be evil enough to poison your food and then laugh. That woman and all these gang stalkers, they're never to be, not even my twin sister or family, they are not to be trusted. So yesterday, thanks for the 2 people who gave me thumbs up on talking about my twin sister, because the perps gave me, within less than 2 hours, they gave me over 8 thumbs down. So, I mean, and think they got their fake license to meddle and harass and stalk and try to comment on your every move and gossip about everything you do. And I mean, like, y'all don't have a life. And so, you want to criminalize me eating Magnum bars. Something that I don't get to have really that often. And so, you know, the fake Stephon Adams try to falsely say that Candy's a narcissist for crying about people unfollowing her. Well, people unfollowing and blocking me is because of the gang stalking, smear campaigns and rumors. And if you say that you're targeted and people say TIs need to stick together, the main ones saying targets need to stick together, they're the first to unfollow and block. And they got too many fakes in the TI community. But I'm not even going to name the targets that I believe are real, because I don't want the gang stalkers to flock to them and then start to harass them. And I don't want the perps to try to turn them away from me, you know. But they got a very small amount of people who are sincere. But my sincere supporters, it seems like I have a couple of them that may comment a few times a week or a couple of times a week. And I got some new people. But a lot of my supporters, it seems like they might drop in 2 or 3 times a year. But, I mean, they probably have a busy life, a family. I mean, I do take that into consideration, that they might have a busy life, a family. They have a busy life and a family. Or maybe they might try to not do social media that much or try to limit. So I understand that too. But as I said, I could not picture myself stalking somebody's every move or watching and commenting and gossiping, saying that they did X, Y, Z wrong. You know, and I mean, I don't know if the online perps are gonna be livid at me putting out my mental health ebook. I was trying to push for it to get put out today, but I still got more work to do on it. You know, because I wanted to go into more detail. It's going to be much longer than my foster care ebook. And I'm like, well, wow, so many things that I should have said in the foster care ebook. But in the foster care ebook, I was just gave like a brief example of, you know, a brief overview, like a brief summary of what I went through, plus the research links. I don't cite library books as physical library books at the library. I don't cite them in my sources because you got to be controlled by the Illuminati in order to get your books in the library. Popular fake sellouts, you got your books in the library. So, and then if any conspiracy ebooks in the library, it's hardly any conspiracy ebooks in the library. Hardly any conspiracy ebooks in the library. And if there are any conspiracy ebooks in the library, then they're disinformation. And I heard that if you're on the terrorist watch list being targeted, then if you check out books and DVDs and stuff at the library or documentaries, that, when you go check that out, then, they're sitting there watching and trying to monitor what you're reading. And I heard that they read all your emails. They know everything about you. And so they would have narcissistic, control freak, fake TI perks that I would get into an altercation or argument with them. Because if Alex Dupree made a last minute, like if like that time I made the last minute detour decision to go to Winn-Dixie when I was supposed to go somewhere else, and Alex Dupree was there at Winn-Dixie. It took me only 5 minutes to get off the bus, and I was thinking about going somewhere else. And then once I went to Winn-Dixie, he was there before me. I'm like, how the fuck did this happen? But I'm just glad that he disappeared. I hope he's gone. Well, so like this afternoon when I woke up, I had Cheerios, Honey Nut Cheerios. And I thought, why they taste too sweet? Usually they don't taste too sweet, but that particular box tastes too sweet. Or like, why am I perceiving stuff to taste too sweet? So I had a bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios with milk, and I had some Nutter Butter and orange juice. The last of the orange juice and Nutter Butter. I didn't have the last of Nutter Butter. I still got a little more left. But I'm gonna have leftover. I'm gonna have leftover turkey breast cutlets and beans and mixed vegetables and beans and rice. So they had people that were telling me that they thought that my dish looked good. I get some compliments of people saying that my food looked good. But they would have abusive, narcissistic troll perks. We're talking about, those were the driest burgers I've ever seen. Well, what you mean dry? And they were moist. The burgers weren't dry. But you just wanted to come, you got paid to come and say something insulting. And so, the gang stalking network being the paid to hate. Imagine getting paid to hate someone. You sold your soul to the devil just to get paid to hate somebody. And so they're compromising a lot of targeted individuals, pitting targets against each other, brainwashing targets to be against each other. And they beat you into submission. As I said, I don't trust their fake offers to sell out, because they have people who sold their soul to the devil, certain rappers. They make a deal with the devil and then they get murdered like later on that day. It happened, I heard that it happened to, what's her name? The New Orleans female rapper, Magnolia Shorty. It happened to her. That's what I heard. Because she was a local New Orleans rapper for years. She was the one who had that song, Monkey on the Dick or Monkey on the Stick. But I think DJ Jubilee came up with that Monkey on the Dick or Monkey on the Stick concept first. And then she had a song. I was in 8th grade. And she had a song called Monkey on the Dick. They have the sexually nasty stuff and in New Orleans. And I didn't know that in my hometown, New Orleans, with that booty shaking or twerking, it has its origins and roots in witchcraft. I didn't know that. And so it's like shaking your booty, twerking or whatever. In New Orleans back then, they used to call it popping. But, booty shaking in New Orleans it's supposed to be a manipulative tactic, a witchcraft tactic to attract men. And when I was in 2006, and after Hurricane Katrina, I was going to University of New Orleans. I don't remember the professor's name, but I almost vividly remember what his face looked like. I can't remember his name at all. And excuse me. And he said that it was like a history or anthropology teacher. I don't remember. And he mentioned about how women shaking their booties to attract men, that originated with some witchcraft from Africa back like centuries ago or something like that. And so and I don't know about other cultures, but you know, they had the New Orleans booty shaking, and then somehow it got to Miley Cyrus and twerking. And she was the one who made twerking famous, and then everybody started doing it. But New Orleans people, our people are the ones who originated it in this country. But then they have whore Beyonce always booty shaking and twerking. And, you know, everybody knows how much of a powerful witch she is. She ain't from New Orleans, but she's Creole. And, you know, if she had offspring, they could call Blue Ivy Creole because she's Creole, but the biological dad Arthur is Creole, and I get attacked for saying I'm Creole. Like, I'm not allowed to call myself Creole. But they got blacks who don't have, like, a lot of black people in New Orleans call themselves Creole. Anyway, even if they're not mixed. But I'm definitely, technically speaking, definitely mixed. But a lot of mixed people call themselves black. Even if somebody's half black, half Filipino, you know, they'll do everything black. They don't even marry their Filipino folks. They don't even embrace both cultures. They would stick everything black and everything New Orleans. And every man she get with gotta be black, even though she half Filipino, half black. She ain't gonna get with no Filipino man. She ain't gonna get with a Mexican man. She ain't gonna get with a Middle Eastern guy. She gonna stick with her black folks. That's how they roll. You know, even if you mix with black and Nicaraguan, you stick with the black folks. Or black and Puerto Rican, you do everything black. And they had a nice bit of people in New Orleans that was mixed with black and Puerto Rican. And they look no different from the Creoles. They look no different from the Creoles. But sometimes if a person is mixed with black and Mexican, they usually embrace both cultures. So, but it's like, so yeah, I kind of strayed off topic, but they used to manipulate for me and my twin sister to dance vulgar on purpose to set us up and get us in trouble and laugh at us and make a fool out of us. And they used to make a fool out of the biological brother Sean and try to get Sean to dance Michael Jackson dances and to try to make a fool out of him. And they used to try to manipulate him to do stunts and do stuff. And one time they tried to make a fool out of Sean by trying to tell Sean to backflip. And so Sean was doing some backflips. And then he accidentally landed on I don't know if it was like a piece of wood or a rusty nail, I don't remember. And he had to get rushed to the emergency room. So yeah, they would try to, like, we would go to a dance and the kids would crowd around me and try to get me to dance and try to make a fool out of me. Or they would try to flex. They would try to say flex. I'm like, flex, what does that mean? And they try to say, well, if you don't flex, then I'm going to beat you up. They used to do this to me in junior high, in high school. or they say pop, and I be afraid and don't want to get in trouble, or they would be dancing nasty, and then when the disciplinarian or the teacher is coming, they don't warn us, but they stop dancing and don't warn us, and we'd be so into the mix with dancing or whatever at the school dance, and then the disciplinarian or the teacher, principal or something would punish us while they kick back and laugh. And they didn't, just, my twin sister was a victim of being made a fool out of, but they used to try to get her to dance, and, but they even gave her more respect than me, even in high, not so much junior high, because even like in elementary school and junior high, we were both persecuted, hated. If my twin sister would get beat up really bad, or I don't remember whether or not she got jumped before, but I only got jumped by more than one person once in my life, and that was, how old was I? Yeah, that was with that transgender that called himself Nikita the Dick Eater. That homeless transgender that robbed me and stole my cell phone and stole my money. It was him and this masculine lesbian that was half my height, and she looked like she was mixed with black and Asian. And I beat him up, but she jumped in and beat me up half my height and fight worse than a man. And all these Canadian tourists walking by, nobody cared to stop the fight until they had this one black guy that defended me and punched the shit out of Nikita the Dick Eater. His real name is Jonathan DeRocher. And when I see that, when I hear about the fake Darnell Williams perp, it makes me think, when I hear about the Darnell Williams perp, it makes me think of Jonathan DeRocher, like as if I picture that he might look like Jonathan DeRocher. So, the fake Darnell Williams perp, as I say, he sounds like a fat white guy. Because you're not going to be skinny and have a voice like, yeah. That doesn't sound like a skinny person. That sounds like a fat person. That sounds like a fat person. So, but anyway, let me get back to what I was trying to say, though. I don't know why I get Cheeky Black and Magnolia Shorty mixed up. So, Brian Birdman Williams used to be called Baby. And, that Manny Fresh, I don't know what happened to Manny Fresh, but I never been too deep into New Orleans rap and New Orleans hip hop, even though I'm from New Orleans. But I know some stuff. Like, I've never been too crazy about Juvenile, even though I used to like a few of his songs. But I heard he blood sacrificed his daughter, and Mike Tyson blood sacrificed his daughter, even though Mike Tyson ain't from New Orleans. But they both had a daughter, a 4-year-old daughter or something that was blood sacrificed. I don't see how people can do this. And so, I even heard people say Master P is down with the rituals and everything. He helped the Travis Scott situation. So, Lil Wayne had been deep, into the MK Ultra mind control. From my hometown, New Orleans. And it seemed like Lil Wayne had a lot of MK Ultra trauma happen to him. He almost lost his life at, I think he was 12 years old. He got shot, and he had some other stuff that happened I can't even mention on here. But Birdman was supposedly Lil Wayne's handler, and that's why he had a song called "Stunting with My Daddy." Stunting with my daddy, and that ain't your real daddy. I don't even think Birdman is old enough to be Lil Wayne's daddy. But saying stunting like my daddy with a man that's not related to you, that's your handler. And then you see Birdman and Lil Wayne kissing and stuff. Like, y'all supposed to be thugs, right? But and so yeah, it was, I heard that Birdman was Magnolia Shorty's handler also, and I heard that he had her sacrificed. But I mean, the New Orleans rapper Soulja Slim, um, I never heard of anything about him being MK Ultra or anything like that. But he was a blood sacrifice. But I don't know for who. But he was a blood sacrifice. And they said that Messy Maya was blood sacrifice so that Big Frida could blow up. The transgender Big Frida. And then Big Frida and whore Beyonce were mocking what we went through in Hurricane Katrina and mocking Messy Maya. Messy Maya's real name is his real name was Anthony Barre. Anthony Barre, I guess. So Messy Maya, the comedian, he was a rapper and comedian in New Orleans, and he was considered a quote-unquote pea-popper in New Orleans back then. But, and then I recently heard about Brandon Boogie B. Montrell in New Orleans. I never heard of that man's existence until after it was announced that he died. I didn't even know that they still do comedy, that the comedy industry still exists. Because back then in the 90s, black comedy was huge. And I start to wonder, is there still any funny people? Because even back in 2019, 2020, I was wondering, where's the comedy? Where's the humor? Do people crack jokes anymore? And if people crack jokes nowadays, it's narcissistic abusers trying to insult and mock and make memes and poke fun at a target. But I was saying that everybody's so serious, boring, hard, and mean, and fake, pretending to be fake, strict, and self-righteous. And I'm like, whatever happened to the happy-go-lucky funny people? People who have you dying hard laughing so much that you splatter your guts or feel like you're about to splatter your guts laughing. Or, laugh so hard that you can't even breathe. Or laugh so hard that you cry. Or laugh so hard that you feel like you're dying. Have a panic attack laughing, being so funny. But nowadays, you can't even just have harmless fun, just cracking jokes. But no, it seems like cracking jokes always got to be part of like putting somebody down and insulting somebody. Or try to publicly put somebody out there to be embarrassed and humiliated, and then get flying monkeys to join in on the harassment and bullying and taking that one person down. But as I said, if they got all these fake memes, and as I said, how come I wasn't able to file a copyright claim or put a copyright strike on the gang stalkers and fake T.I. perps that slander me and use my content without my permission? When I report it to YouTube, YouTube ignores me. And it seems like all I can do is block. But when I block for good reason, because they're harassing me and slandering me and lying on me and manipulating and turning people against me. And then, they come back with new fake accounts to come harass. But my complaint is not with perps blocking me. That if I know you a perp, then fuck you. But you're supposed to be targeted, though. And I never did you anything. And you unfollow or block, that's my complaint. Or if you say that you're Christian and you unfollow or block me, but they got a lot of people who say that they're Christian and they're not even for the truth. They just pretending to be Christian just for show. And that's narcissistic. So if they have professed targeted individuals who believe the slander about me and that's why they turn against me or decide that I'm the problem or a bad person, but the same thing is happening to you. But they have fake T.I. perps. I've seen that act like as if they show footage of themselves being targeted excuse me, or they will show their targeting like in 2019 and 2020. Then they make a deal with the devil and take down all their videos, and then come back with a new fake narrative pretending that they're Christian and saved. And then they go perping and bullying behind and ganging up on you behind closed doors in other people's YouTube comments. And then when you call them out on being a fake TI perp, they download and then re-upload old videos and make it like as if it's fresh and new. Or they go back to they perp and harass you and then go back to being targeted again. But I never I don't get an apology, after you started joining in with the gang stalkers and start perping me when you're supposed to be targeted. And then if you get targeted so bad, you don't even come back and be like, well, Candy, I'm sorry that I participated in gang stalking you and I'm being targeted too. But no, because they have been sold out and been gagged. And then some people try to say, well, gang stalkers are targeted too. Or gang stalkers are being surveilled and watched too. So I heard that with the MK Ultra, that handlers even have handlers. So anyway, I hate that I'm on my last outfit right now. Well, not outfit, because they're not a matching. I mean, they're not an outfit that came together, but shirt and pants. And it's a pair of sweatpants. And so I dread it's that time again that I have to go back. I have to go do laundry again. But it's too late, so I can't do it. Well, it's not too late, but I would have rather have done the laundry earlier in the day. So people are telling me that excuse me, I almost thought I needed to sneeze. People are telling me that is back pay for the food stamps, that's back pay, and that's back pay with the food stamps, and that's mine to keep. Yeah, I just wanted to stay on the safe side, and I didn't want to be falsely accused of fraud or something I didn't know, or if it's their error or mistake. But they're like, no, that's not an error, that's back pay. So wow, unless, but then again, I heard in certain cities and states, or at certain Walmart, fake Walmart, at certain stores, I heard stories about certain people's food stamps getting stolen, electronically stolen some kind of way. So people try to say, like, be extra careful about that. And I'm like, oh man, y'all scaring me. So, excuse me, as far as I know, unless something happens, I shouldn't have to ask for any money for food. So I'm like, thankfully, I don't have to beg. I don't have to panhandle. I don't have to ask for money for food. But my main thing is I need a way to get transportation. Now, I need transportation. I would like to make a living, make an income. So I tried it like a week or two ago and filled out more job applications and didn't really get much of nothing. So I'm going to just stick to my writing. I mean, I don't know if I can get the writing put out tonight. If not tonight, I mean, I'm planning to work on it this evening after I'm done uploading this video. So I don't want to take up too much extra space on my phone. So I don't know if the book will be done today, or if because as I said, I have a lot of links and resources of truth for y'all to research. If you want to. I mean, my book ain't forcing you to research. I'm not even forcing you to read it. But that's why they don't want targeted individuals to huddle together. Because if we huddle together, then they lose. So they try to get targeted individuals to perp and hate each other. And I never perped anyone, ever. And I never got paid to insult nobody. But the same people who are fake TI, abusive, narcissistic, control freak, fake TI perps, who lie and say that I'm a government agent, it's them. But they're the one who get fraudulently and illegally get all the likes and likes, support, comments, subscribers, and popularity, and money, and GoFundMes, and gifts. While you have a house and a car begging for money, but I was out there on the streets. But I still got my GoFundMe up. I'm not GoFundMe. I meant to say the other fundraiser up. Now, I don't need help with food, but I need help with other survival, now. But, so I saw on the app that with the food stamps, they said with the food stamps, I'm supposed to get $130 for July, and 2 payments on the same day, 2 payments of $65. But I heard some people on SSI only get $23. And I'm like, I feel really bad for them. But I couldn't even get food stamps in Pensacola during the you-know-what thing going on. And I didn't even, because I was so busy focused on trying to get my taxes and stuff, that when I was in Cincinnati, it didn't even cross my mind. And I did apply for housing in both Cincinnati, and I tried in Kentucky. So, but if I was to go, I don't think I want to go back to Cincinnati. I don't think I want to go back. Maybe to visit, but not to live. But if I can find a permanent home in Pensacola, I wish I could, go back. But other than that, the people made me not like it there no more. But if it weren't for the gang stalking, I would love Pensacola. So, but anyway, though, it must be that hot, so hot outside that I got the air on 62, and I feel kind of warm. But this morning, in the middle of the night, I had the air on 72 and felt like I was cold. Or earlier this morning, I felt like I was cold. But now it's 62, and that's the lowest it would get, or the coldest it get. But I don't feel cold at all. I don't feel like I'm sweating buckshots or super hot, but I feel kind of warm in here. But it must be blazing outside. Every day we've been getting my phone has been getting a heat advisory. Every day it's getting a heat advisory. But I wish there was some place I could go swim. And they got a lot of nature, a lot of natural places. I wish I had my own transportation, my own car, and get to go swimming, or like go to a beach or a swimming hole or a lake or something where you can swim. It's doggone summer. So let me go, and I'll see y'all later on this evening.